Hey, I'm Jeff Reber with Pursuit Real Estate, joined by Lyman. He's the owner and founder of Deli, which is a software company, technology company that we are using on our company website that does all sorts of cool things for buyers who are shopping for a new home, among other things. So what did I miss there, Lyman? Tell us a little bit about your background, the company, what it is presently, and I guess we'll get into what it does and where it's going.
Yeah, Jeff, I appreciate the kind words and having me on here. But I'll just get a quick rundown. I'm from Jacksonville. Yep. I now live in New York, but I've been working on a lot of real estate startups for, I guess you could say, 4 years now. And what we've created now, just think of it as like anybody who uses something like ChatGPT, but for real estate. So I don't know if you spoke on this, Jeff, but it's basically a LLM, which is a large language model that we ingest a bunch of property data, right? So listing data.
I meant to use that term and completely forgot. I wanted to look smart and use large language model, and it totally slipped my mind. I'm glad you brought it up, though. There you go.
Yeah, there's too many random terms in this industry too. So, so what it is, it's an AI property search tool that goes on a brokerage site. That enables a consumer to find their ideal home, or what I like to use, their dream home, in seconds. So before Deli, it took maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour when you use the basic drop down, or what we like to call in the industry IDX. Yep. So that's been around since 1999 and stayed there. But it allows somebody to say, hey, I want these beds, I want these bathrooms. But when we go a little deeper, saying, hey, I want acreage, or I need the exterior of my home to be, wood, or those type of things, that's where it gets difficult. And so what we did was, how can we bring in AI to take this old listing data that's provided to us via the MLS and allow the consumer to find those properties quick, easy, and really expand their search results. Expanding it to things, hey, I want to be near a restaurant, or I want to be near this school. So how can we expand that and provide a better experience for the consumer? So that's kind of a rundown.
A couple things there. So if you want to do a quick demo, and while you're pulling that up on your screen, and I'll let you share your screen, just to define terms in case anybody watching isn't familiar, and I guess why would you be familiar with these terms unless you are full-time in real estate? But IDX is Internet Data Exchange, and MLS is multiple listing service. The MLS is where all realtors input the data for the listings where they represent the seller. And so that's where all the data exists, and it's being input by individuals who are in the business. And then IDX, Internet Data Exchange, is taking that data and putting it onto a consumer-facing website. So here we are on the pursuitrealestate.com home screen.
So you've got your website. You're probably very familiar with this. So if you go to the search, right? So we're not on the search page, but this is how you would communicate with it beforehand. So you've got an interactive map here. You've got the homes here, but again, it's just your basic drop down. So you've got your price, beds, baths, all types of homes for sale. So this is what's been around for quite a long time. Now, if I go back to the home page, Pursuit Real Estate's home page, this is Deli down here. So it's white labeled. So what that means is you don't see any Deli insignia or any Deli logos on here. But again, this is where we start. So it's just a simple chat. So for example, for this example, I'm going to look for a home under 750,000. So looking for a home under.
And while you're doing that, so the idea from our perspective as a real estate brokerage is, if somebody's intentionally coming to search, they may click on the search, and that's great. They'll find their way through. But if they land on the homepage from Google doing something else, but then all of a sudden go, I wonder what kind of homes are available that I might be interested in, this pop-up allows them the ability to quickly get into a search experience without having to go through 12 different clicks to see something that they might be interested in.
Exactly, because in many cases you'll have somebody who's interested in a home, and I'll continue to discuss this, but you'll have somebody who's interested in a home go to a brokerage website and have to do 12 or 15 different clicks, and then they'll go bounce to another website, go to a more consumer-friendly site. So the whole idea is, how can we revolutionize the experience to get these consumers excited about searching for a property? A term we like to use is called gamify. How can we gamify it where it's fun, exciting, you want to spend time doing that? So
Right.
Like for example, I just said looking for a home under 750,000. Deli found me that very quick. But let's say I want to refine it. So with that, we had about 1,600 different homes. But let's say it needs to have 2 acres, right? So I want to live some land. I have a couple dogs. I want to let go in the backyard. So I need a lot of acreage. So it brought that 1,600 number all the way down to 45. And I can go down here. Say again.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I can go down.
Yeah, I was just saying that narrowed it significantly.
Yeah. And so, all right, well, let's say I'm very interested in a brick exterior. Needs to have a brick exterior. So I can just communicate with Deli just like I would with an agent, just like I would in a normal conversation with somebody. So for example, brought it down to 3. So this one looks great. I might have to do a couple things with the yard, but my dogs might mess that up. So if I go to see details, there is an entire listing page that's connected. So again, it's branded that way. So I can email myself this property. And then I can also go down here and email this to Pursuit Real Estate too. So it goes to an agent at Pursuit. And if I go down here, I can also see the lot size. So it did listen to me. Again, it's 2.28. Then I can just go back and change up the search again. So it's very, very simple. You can find that home really fast, and then I can reach out to an agent. So it just revolutionizes the way we search for homes, because I can come up with a list of 5 and then go to the agent and say, hey, I'm really interested in these. So
that's right. Well, and on the revolutionize thought, so give us a little bit of insight on what's coming next. Like, what are the things that it will do in the near future that make it even more functional and user-friendly?
Yeah, so for example, I myself have not looked for a house yet. I'm a little too young. I will soon, but I would like
also
to.
You're in New York City, so cost of real estate a little bit different in New York City. Yeah.
Yes. So for example, if I want to live next to a bustling town, or if I want to live next to a restaurant or a school, let's say I'm raising some kids and I want to live near a specific school. Right now, the only thing that you can find is something like a good schools widget. I don't know if you've ever been on a listing page and maybe it shows like the ranking of the school. But you can't type in, hey, I need to be 2 miles away from this place, or I need to be near. So what we want Deli to do is start to respond in conversational form saying, hey, I know you said you want to be near a school, but what does that mean? Does that mean 2 miles? Does that mean 500 feet? So just understanding and conversing in a more human way on that aspect. And then the second thing is we're starting to analyze listings. So whenever a listing agent puts in information into that MLS, like you described, they have to put, let's say, 30 pictures in there. And then they have to write about those pictures. So sometimes the listing agent, there'll be discrepancies in what that picture looks like and then what the actual, what we call realtor remarks, property marks look like. So Deli understands those discrepancies and it analyzes those pictures saying, hey, this is a well-kept yard. You're going to have to redo this if it's not. All those different things. It'll take all those insights that it's pulling from the picture and then allow the listing agent to have so much more information to put in their listing. So then, like we had this happen, for example, let's say you're representing somebody, you're trying to find them a home and they're looking for a pool. Well, 20% of the homes that you're looking for might be lost because that listing agent didn't say pool in the property remarks, but maybe put it into the fields or vice versa.
Or vice versa. Yeah, we get a lot of that where somebody didn't check a box, but it does have it in the photos, or maybe it mentions it in the remarks, and then the buyer's upset. I didn't see this on the list at first, and it's like, well, that's because Joe, the real estate agent, forgot to check that it's got a pool when he put the listing in. So I think that's a great sort of fail-safe for making sure that all of the data and info about a home that a buyer wants to see is getting caught up and sent to them, so that they find the home they love.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just for too many years, or people have been going to Zillow, these portal sites, just because the consumer interface is really, really good. And so what we want to do is pull the good parts of that experience and bring it back to the brokerage, bring it back to the more niche brokerages that understand the community more than somebody on one of those portals. Yeah,
no, this is super cool. Well, I don't want to keep you, but anything else to add in terms of what Deli's doing, or what the product will become outside of what we've already talked about?
No, I mean, just at the end of the day, we want it to be a place where, let's say I'm renting too. Right now, we only do homes for sale. So let's say I'm renting and I have a couple of buddies that I'm renting with. I would love to, and this is what we want Deli to be able to do, is I want to say, hey, I'm living with 3 other guys. I want to spend $2,000 a month, or I want to spend $1,500 or $600. Can you find me something that has 2 bathrooms or something like that? Very, very, very conversational.
Sure.
So at the end of the day, we want it to feel as if you're not talking to, an AI LLM, like I said before. You're just talking to somebody else.
Yeah.
So that's the end goal. But again, the more people who use it, so the more consumers, the more home buyers who come to this widget on your site, the better it gets, the more it starts to learn. It's kind of like an infant playing with toys. It starts to understand what a cow is, what a giraffe is, what a door, what's the usage of a door. It starts to understand those things to then provide better results for you.
Sure. No, that's great. Well, all of that said, and you may not want people to follow up with you, but if they want to know more about Deli or more about what Lyman's doing in his business pursuits, is there anywhere online that you would suggest people go?
Yeah, just go to usedeli.com. So usedeli.com, or just go to my LinkedIn. I'm posting demos for consumer, all those things I post almost daily. So.
Okay. Cool. I love it. And I actually do follow you on LinkedIn. One of the very few people who I'll check out what they're doing on LinkedIn from time to time. Yeah. So Lyman, this was great. I appreciate the time. And if anybody's got any real estate specific questions, feel free to reach out to me, text or call 904-405-1995, or you can shoot me an email, jeff@pursuitrealestate.com. Take care.